Hey, what are we doing?
We are making black bottom rum pies because it's that time of year again, Smith.
Love me
I
some
did
rum
that
pie.
wrong. I'm drinking too much. Anyway, so we're gonna rectify that. So 2 tablespoons of cornstarch per bowl here. We are making 2 at a time because we ain't messing around here. We don't make 1 pie at a time. You got 4 burners, we got 4 pots, we're making 2 pies at a time. Cornstarch in, sugar, 3/4 cup of sugar. Pour that stuff out. Quarter cup. You don't have a 1/4 cup in here. Add 1/3 cup.
Yes, there is. Just keep looking.
1/3 cup. Oh, a little bitty one. Hiding in there. All right, 3/4 cup. So there's 1/4. See, I can do math. 2/4, 3/4 sugar. 1, 2, and 3. Not that precise, okay? Sugar, cornstarch, gelatin. Gelatin, this is important right here. This is basic unflavored gelatin. I usually buy the Knox brand. Kroger didn't have the Knox brand. The original recipe, my dear sweet sainted mother Diane, only puts 1 package of gelatin in per pie. I upped that to 1.5. That is secret. That's secret. Because you don't want this delicious pie to not sit up and be big and beautiful. And we all know things that sit up and stand up that are big or beautiful is better than not standing up when it's supposed to.
Wow.
Talking about pies, Cheryl.
I know.
And bottles of tequila.
Talking about pies. Okay, 1.5. So I put 1 in each, and then I just kind of measure this out here. So
Doing it by feel.
doing it by feel. That's about half a package there and half a package there. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. Okay, so 1.5. Then we take our whisk. This is all the dry ingredients. Whisk it up into the bowl here. So you got your cornstarch in there. That's that's important. You can't just put it in the pot that way. So we're gonna mix all the dry ingredients together first. Got a little bit of lumps in the sugar here, but we'll get there.
I've seen cooking shows where they use a fork or a spoon to mix their dry ingredients. Makes no sense to me at all. Use a whisk. Always use a whisk.
Whisk it up. Few clumps in the sugar in Georgia and the humidity. All right, good. Now what we got here is we've got 2 double boilers. We got 2 2-quart. Are they 2-quart and 2 3-quart? So we've got water in each one of them. Should have turned them on already. And they go just like this, and they go just like this. And that's your double boilers. And they should work just nicely. You do have to be very careful with it because you can't knock this over, which I have. Spilled everywhere. Don't do that. All right. Well, that's heating up and getting ready. We're going to do the milk. And you can use skim milk, 2% whole milk. It really doesn't matter. I use all 3 of them. Just depends on what you want. This is 1%. And the milk, we've got 2.5 cups, not 2 cups, not 3, 2.5 cups of milk per. So the milk goes in right in the top. Oh crap. Nope, we're good. The other pots had stickers on them because we just bought these pots. Wait a minute. I pulled one off. Did I pull the other one off? I haven't even started drinking yet. No, I didn't. All right.
We'll start on with some hot water there.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Already fell.
I thought I smelled something burning. That was it. The Made in China sticker. Made in China. All right. It has to be averted back to the milk. 2.5 cups of cold milk. Not hot milk, not warm milk.
Cold milk.
Cold milk. Because again, you got cornstarch in there. You want lumpy cornstarch. fats in. Put the milk back away. First step is you cannot work in a dirty kitchen. Clean your kitchen. Get ready to work. You gotta get all your tools out. Alright?
And at the very least, know where your ingredients are for
Then
easy
we're gonna take
access.
a spoon. Then we're gonna do this number on it. And I'm gonna do this because this is a little unstable. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down because it's not good to go there. And we're gonna go nice and easy in the cold milk with the dry ingredients. And I just kind of like to do this. See how it's bumping the spoon up against the bowl there and just feeding it in. Get that on the video well enough. These pies are not quick. Time is your friend.
Time is always your friend.
That's right. You try to rush it, it's not going to sit up. It's going to be lumpy. And at one point, you can really screw it up by getting scrambled eggs in your pie. This is not a scrambled egg pie. Although I do recommend it for breakfast in the morning. But leave the scrambled eggs out of your pie.
You could use a whisk on that too, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. I actually like the spoon on this one because it's like you have the flat bottom of the saucepan here. In the bowl, you got the whole rounded bottom, so the rounded whisk. But that's just my preference. I actually like to take like the bottom of the spoon and rub the bottom of the pan with it. Prefer to stir it like that and get the edges. Here's a technique. This is a Maloy patent technique of stirring the pie right here. Corner of the spoon right in there. Okay, so that one is going to now heat up nicely on that double boiler. All right, kids, anybody know why we use a double boiler instead of just put it on the stove?
I know.
Why is that, Mr. Smith?
Keep it from
Oh, shit.
scorching. Party foul.
Round two. Be sure to find two pots that fit together properly, or you're going to have it all over your kitchen. Now this is made with straight sugar. You can make it with Splenda. You can make it with Splenda and skim milk. And it turns out just fine. I don't mind it at all. I do not mind that at all. Or you can make it with whole milk and cream and olive oil butter. However you desire. This is the original black bottom rum pie. I've made a lot of other variations of it. Strawberry, blueberry, lemon, all the citrus ones, white chocolate. So instead of the regular chocolate, you use white chocolate chips. I like to do the white chocolate lime coconut pie. Is one of my favorites. Kids love that.
That's good.
I have not made a pie that I did not eat the entire thing. So. All right, so our bottom pan is boiling nicely. We got some good steam edge going there. And now we're gonna hold it. Okay. Smart.
Don't let go.
Smart there. Well, we can see right there. The problem came when I left one unattended and I went to the other one, and then I bumped it and it. See now I've got the flat part up on the rim there, and it's got a little gap right here.
Holding it better.
And it's doing that better. It's fine. So that needs to cook. Now this is never going to get past a certain temperature because it's cooking with the steam here. But that needs to cook for probably about 5 minutes. And you can take your little pinky and give it a little pinky test. And it's not boiling, it'll never boil. But about 5 minutes is a good gauge on that. But it should get quite thick. Now while that is boiling, I'm going to balance it up here just so. And we do need to leave it unattended because we're going to do the eggs. So now we take 3 eggs and we separate the eggs. Getting nice and warm, about 5 minutes there. We're gonna go ahead and separate the eggs. I've never owned an egg separator. I just crack them, and I screwed it up already. And use the shelf to separate. Three eggs in each pie. Guess I could have asked you if you had an egg separator, but this is just as easy, and you don't have to worry about getting one. Oh, whites and yolks.
You're gonna use both at some point, both parts.
Oh yeah. The whites go in the top layer. The egg yolks, what we're doing is we're making a custard. This is basically a chocolate custard pie. Alright, so the whites go back in the fridge until further notice. The eggs the yolks get beat like that. And you know what, this is too small of a bowl. I apologize, I haven't made these in a year, so it just takes a little bit of practice getting back to it again. Because once that mixture right there gets good and warm with the pinky test, and it's good to go after about 5 minutes, then you temper the eggs. Spoon out some of that some of the warm mixture into here. If you just pour that in there, what do you get?
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. No, scrambled eggs pie. All right, we got a rubber scraper. We'll use that later. I don't see a non-slotted spoon in here. You don't want eggshells in your pie either. Bye. I'll put the eggs back in the fridge while we're waiting. Rum, about 30.
I believe it is time for rum. A couple of shot glasses up in the cabinet there.
Or tequila, or whatever you feel. That's perfect. Oh, Jägermeister was.
Those will work.
Meister.
Shot glass is a shot glass. What do we want?
The plantation's open. What do you want to put in the pie? That's all the Captain Black you got?
Oops. What's that?
That's the last of the Captain Black?
Yes.
More rum goes into my belly than in the pie.
Making pies in Georgia.
That's right. Woo! Rum's good.
Rum is very good.
Okay, I'm holding on to it again for dear life. Don't want an episode of round one. With all that sugar and gelatin over there, it's all really sticky, you notice that, right?
Yes, very
It's hard
sticky.
to clean up if you spill it.
Yep.
Ooh. Rum's good.
Rum's good.
This is my dear sweet mother, sainted Mother Diane's black bottom pie recipe. And she's always made it with imitation rum. Because, you know, morning.
And it still works, right?
It still worked great. We've never had the heart to tell Mom that imitation rum is about 83% alcohol. Shh, don't ever tell her that.
And what's the percentage on this Plantation 5-year that we just shot?
40%. So the imitation is twice as
much alcohol. Sorry, Sister Maloy.
But this tastes better. If you're gonna do it right.
Do it right. Yeah. That's
Rum is rum.
For the kids at home, I'm just taking a shot of our soap full of hot soapy water, which I like to cook with.
Hot soapy water. Okay, pinky test. Getting there. Not quite.
He's looking for temperature, right?
Not quite, yeah. But see how it's starting to steam now from the mixture itself?
Oh, yeah.
That steam's not coming from here. But you got to keep stirring it. You can't let it set for too long by itself.
Okay, yeah, I'm not connected. I can't connect yet, so I'll just do a few minutes.
basically the kid's job. Come up here, hold the pot, and stir.
Good job for the kids.
I'm drinking rum. You stir the pot.
Kids are, yep. Good job for the kids.
All right, so we got the egg yolks, we got the egg whites. How many minutes this has actually been because I don't time it, barely measure stuff.
I think it's
And
been.
once you get into the groove, once you've been doing this for a long time, then, but like I haven't done this in a year, so I gotta look at my recipe and make sure I'm doing everything right. But usually I make 2 at a time, and then, 2 at a time on the stove, but I'm usually gonna set up to make 6 to 8 pies. And I give away, peace, love, and pie. And some people have tried my pie, and some people have succeeded. I don't think most people have.
Have what?
I succeeded.
And trying to make the pie.
Trying to make the
Yeah,
pie because this pie takes a lot of loving. It takes a lot of patience, which I am a plethora of patience.
Mr. Patience.
Mr. Patience, that's me.
That is starting to steam. Is it getting thick at all?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is now we're gonna spoon out some of this mixture, and there's no clumps in it. I've been stirring it well. And this is called tempering the eggs. You don't go this way, you gotta go this way. Just a little bit at a time. So you put a little bit of the hot liquid in the cold egg yolks. That's called tempering.
It keeps the yolks from cooking.
So right now, see, there's more yolk than hot liquid in there. That's why they won't cook. They're gonna stir. And this is how you make a custard. And I'm trying to be very careful so we don't tip the pot here again. But I'll put several big spoons in here. Actually, the more you can put in here, kind of the better. You're trying to get the egg yolks up to very gradually the temperature that these are, that the sugar and milk is. All right, a little more.
How do you decide how much is enough when you're tempering the eggs?
Well, you can do the whole entire thing if you want to. I always say more is better on this one. More this way is better. All right, then we're gonna, once it gets up to that temperature, then you can pour the whole mixture in there and you don't get your scrambled eggs. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Hang on to the pot and back to stirring. And this right here is going to go probably another 5 minutes. Because now it's starting to thicken up. Remember, we've got 1.5 packages of the unflavored gelatin in there and this cornstarch. And when you add the eggs, you're going to get a nice creamy custard.
Those egg yolks also act as a thickening agent.
So we've got sugar, cornstarch, gelatin, and egg yolks in here. Pretty simple. Patented stirring technique. Don't use without permission from Clint Maloy or Ricky Bobby. See, Travis doesn't get the reference because he doesn't like Will Ferrell and Ricky Bobby. He's not really that American.
I'm not. I get as far as the dinner scene, the dinner table scene, the sweet 8-pound baby Jesus.
Laying in your ghost manger, don't even know a word yet.
Yep, I've never made it through that scene.
Sweet baby Jesus. Alright, so we're going to cook this down and keep stirring it for about a full 5 minutes minimum, 5 to 7 minutes, alright? We can come back to this if you like. Alright. Meanwhile, I believe in a clean kitchen all the time. All the time. already getting thick. Oh, there's a clock right there, of course. I guess I could keep an eye on it, see how many minutes it is, but I usually never watch the clock. I just go by what I feel in my bones. Probably more like 7 minutes. I'll give it a couple extra minutes, really thicken up. Again, because the worst thing is you put all this pie together and you do it too quick, do it too fast, you don't use enough gelatin, you don't put enough love into it, and then you got limp pie. Well, limp pie tastes just fine, it's just not pretty.
Rum soup.
Yep, I've eaten rum soup before. And there's no rum in here yet. We don't put the rum in until the top layer. There's 3 layers actually, it's the middle layer. So you have the black bottom layer, the custard layer, and then you'll have the real heavy whipping cream on top. No lumps, no clumps. We're good for now. I'm going to give it about 3 more minutes, I believe. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Oh yeah. So you come back here in between, and now you got nice, even through the slotted spoon, it's not moving through very quickly. It's getting there. We're not there yet. We're gonna need another minute or 2. But you gotta stir it. You gotta be patient. You gotta love it. You gotta love the pie.
Love the pie.
Pie is love. All right, I think we're about there. Yeah, you can feel it thickening up while you're stirring it. That's just a feeling you gotta go with. All right, we're there. All right, so now I'm gonna take this into the Pyrex here. We're gonna pour out 1.5 cups. Where's my 1.5 cup mark?
Yep, I'm in.
Right there.
It's probably the one that says one and a
Alright,
half.
see how it's dripping off the pan right there? There's no water on the bottom of the pan.
Yep.
Don't put the water in there.
Put that in there. Look how thick that is. That's good looking.
1.5 cups. Alright. And we're gonna put this over here to cool. Just put that aside right there. I did notice a couple clumps in there, so I'm just gonna give it a good whisking here in the Pyrex. That set for a while while we do this. Next step. So we've got the same boiler, same water going on right here.
So you never turn that heat off?
Never turn that heat off. Just let it keep boiling. And that's gonna fit on there beautiful, like it's supposed to. Then we got your chocolate. Use semi-sweet, just baking chips. You can use whatever you want. I would not use the milk chocolate though. Use the semi-sweet.
Not the milk?
Not the milk. Use any brand you want, but don't use the milk. I don't recommend it. And I like a lot of chocolate, so I'm gonna put about half a bag in there. So this is the 12-ounce bag. I'm gonna put a little more than half a bag. And that's gonna melt and not burn because it's cooking with steam again. And that's just gonna melt right down. And we're gonna use the rubber scraper on that. And when that melts all nice and neat, then we're gonna put it in here and we're gonna whisk the crap out of it. And that goes in there. Okay, so while that is starting to melt, we're gonna move on to our graham cracker crust. Again, you can use any kind of pie crust you want. I'm not gonna make a pie crust for the purposes here. My preference is actually the store-bought Ready Crust 9-inch extra servings is what I like. Okay. So, and I've also developed a little secret with these because they're crumbly and bumbly and everything, right? But that's what we got butter for.
Yeah, butter. Butter makes everything better.
Butter makes it better. So let's get the real butter out. We got the butter somewhere. Oh, it is out. Good. It's not even like it didn't put it in the fridge. And we're just gonna microwave this. I'm gonna put this in that dish I wanna do.
You doing a full cube?
No, half cube of butter, half stick. Well, we're gonna do 2 pies. We'll just go with half stick for now. Butter is sticky. Microwave.
Yep. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Cheryl, do you have a brush by chance in here somewhere?
Brush?
A
Yes.
brush.
Red one in the...
Like a silicone bit. That was about 25 seconds. There we go. Now don't overdo it with the butter. I know butter's good, so is bacon, but too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. So I just pour some melted butter in there. And here's another pro tip. See how I was just twisting this around here? Keep your thumbs on the crust if you're gonna do that. Because I've also done that and stuff.
They will fall out.
Pro tip. And brush that all the way up the sides. Just get this butter everywhere. Generous on the butter, but not over generous. Just enough to coat this entire crust. So yeah, it's not quite a half a stick of butter for 1 pie crust, but when you're figuring ingredients, then about a good gauge.
It's good.
And it does get a little crumbly. I don't know if you can see that on this video here. It does get a little crumbly, but that's okay. It's gonna soak right in there. Okay. So there's your buttered crust. Buttered crust. We're gonna put that right there. So that crust is ready to fill. Not quite ready to fill it yet.
There you go. Would you look at that?
Melty, melty, semi-sweet. The original recipe calls for just the baking squares. Nah, just get the chips. They actually melt faster.
Tastes better too.
Those baking squares take a long time to melt and just whatever.
They have a little bit higher wax content.
I don't care for them, just get the chips. And when I do the white ones, I like to eat the Ghirardelli white chocolate chips.
Oh, get Ghirardelli anytime you can. That's the bomb. That's a much higher quality chocolate than the
Well, we went cheapo with this one.
Yeah, we did, but it all eats the same.
But see how that melts just fine? And it's all constant temperature, cooking with steam. Milk chocolate actually gets too runny, in my opinion. That's why I like the semi-sweet here. This is nice and thick. All right, so now that that's melted, ow, 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 how hot, we're gonna bring this over here, and we're gonna put that in the custard.
Well, you don't need to temper this because the egg yolks have been
right.
cooked down and thickened up, so it's not necessary to temper it at this stage.
And we got plenty of chocolate, so we're gonna set that aside. And take your whisk and whisk that up in there. There we go. There is your black bottom pie right there. You got a nice chocolate custard. Oh, and we gotta add the vanilla in here. I've forgotten this step sometime because it's just so minuscule.
Why aren't you using rum?
The rum goes in the second layer.
Yeah, but why aren't you using rum in this layer too?
Because you gotta put the vanilla in somewhere, and you might as well just separate the rum from the vanilla. And use the real extract. Don't use the imitation vanilla. Just don't do it. And I'm just kind of liberal on the vanilla.
Vanilla and rum go very well together.
Yes, they do. And this goes into the pie. Butter, egg, sugar, cornstarch, gelatin, chocolate. All the good stuff. Just like that. And that is basically the first layer. So you got your black bottom layer. The next layer is going to be more of the custard with the rum in it, and then you've got whipped cream layer on top. So this now has to chill. That has to set up and be firm. You cannot put the second layer on there until that is set up. So that goes in the fridge. Big room for the pies. Filming from a different angle here. We're going to restart again with all of the dry ingredients. So the first dry ingredient is 3/4 cup of sugar.
Uno.
1/4 cups of sugar.
Dos.
3/4 cups of sugar. We got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch.
Interesting side note: if you start with 3/4 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and add a cup of orange juice or coconut syrup, you got a delightful syrup for pancakes.
Very interesting.
I use a cup of sugar, but 3/4 cup would work too.
And then the gelatin.
Oh.
The gelatin back over here. 4 packages in a box of gelatin. We had a little catastrophe earlier, ended up a pie on the floor. So, good thing we got 2 boxes of gelatin. So, 1.5 packages of unflavored gelatin. And since we're only making 2 pies, I'm just going to end up throwing the other half this away. Typically, I'd separate it by feel and put 1.5 packages per pie and do 2 at a time. Alright, we're just going to pitch the rest of that because you don't want too much. Alright.
Whisk.
Whisk.
Here.
Whiskey. 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 Whiskey.
Is there whiskey in the jar?
What? Why? Where? What? Where do you go? Lucky number 8. I wonder where that came from.
Is that a sticker?
It's a sticker.
It had the number 8,
sugar
huh?
bowl.
Nice.
Whisk together all dry ingredients first. Sugar, cornstarch, and gelatin. Get all the lumps out of the sugar. Then we have 2.5 cups of milk here. Milk is what we have. Dirty utensils.
Oh no, no dirty
I
utensils.
always keep things clean as I go. Alright, then we're taking the dry ingredients. I don't know if you can get the angle on it right, because I'm right-handed.
correct.
And it is slightly different in this glass bowl. Right now, that's not thick enough. So we're trying this for the first time, the glass bowl instead of the 2 pots double boiler. But that is not thick enough, so we need to give it at least a few more minutes now, and that's already been 10 minutes. So we'll come back to that. Alright, so the 3 egg whites here are so cold, they only beat if they're cold. You have to keep them cold. You have to keep them in the fridge. If they get warm, you're screwed. That's it, get 3 new egg whites. So I use a 1/4 cup of sugar. 1/4 cup of sugar, Splenda. While you're beating that, you're just stirring a little bit at a time. And you're going to beat this until you get the soft peaks formed on the egg white. Standard hand mixture. As long as they're cold, they're going to beat up nice and fluffy. Got the egg whites, soft peaks in there. We're going to take our rum mixture, and then we're going to pour that in there. And this is called folding into it. So I'm going to pour it down the side over here. This is the rum mixture, and then folding is just a gentle, literally folding it in. Not whisk this. Do not vigorously stir it. Just gently fold this in. I mean, it should mix up pretty well. It should be all the same color, but do not overdo this part. See how the white is completely disappearing and it's mixing fine? But don't take your whisk, don't beat it, just fold it in gently. There you go. That is your rum. That's your rum layer. Now that's going to go on top of the chocolate layer, which is in the fridge. So we're going to get this out of the way. We're going to get the chocolate layer that's been in here for a minimum of 1.5 hour. I'm going to give it a little pinky test. Come over here. You guys see a little pinky test? See that? Okay, nice and firm. And then that goes on top.
Okay, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, okay, so.
Now you got your black bottom. Now you got your rum. Black bottom rum pie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And this layer is going to be kind of flat here. We're just going to smooth it out to the edges here.
What do you mean? Her, like, the last time she did a PO for us was, okay, 22211.
And it's going to be kind of flat on this layer. Okay. And there you go.
Yep.
That's that. And that goes back in the fridge. And that has to set up just like the consistency of the chocolate.
Okay, so
The last layer that goes on there is the whipped cream. There's 3 layers on that.
Very nice.
All right, final touches on the black bottom rum pie. It's just a Hershey bar throw in the freezer. You take your cheese grater and then just grate it. Notice I have some paper towels down here that helps clean up the mess. That way you can just grate wherever you want to grate. Let me just get some of that. Get it everywhere. Generous portions of the Hershey chocolate on top. And that's pretty much it. Lovely black bottom rum pie.
Very nice.
I know.